London Mines and Money 2017, ladies and gentlemen, it's the second day and we are starting early in the morning here with Osisko Metals. And with me here is Jeff Hussey, and he's the CEO of the company. Welcome.
Thank you, Johan.
Well, Osisko Metals, it sounds like you are something from the Osisko group. Maybe you can explain a little bit the history of the company.
This is the first venture in the base metals for the Osisko group. So we started the company in June. We started off financing this summer. We raised over 41.5 million.
Nice.
We have 38 in the bank. And we're currently actively exploring in the Bathurst mining camp.
This is where exactly in Canada?
Bathurst mining camp is in New Brunswick in eastern Canada.
Yeah.
It's the third largest VMS camp in the world. Brunswick number 6 and number 12 produced about 150 million tons at 12% combined lead zinc. The mine shut down in 2013. The site has been reclaimed, so we're going back into the camp, and we have a series of historical deposits that we're converting into 43-101 resources. So this summer we announced a 50,000 meter drill campaign. It's about a $10 million spend to start that process.
Yeah.
We're continuing to complete our acquisitions between now and the year end, and we'll probably continue into the new year of getting all the strategic deposits we want to get our hands on and convert to 43-101 resources.
Yeah.
So we've divided the camp in two, and basically for trucking distance. So within a 25-kilometer trucking distance, if we can get about 3 deposits, if one will do, but if it takes up to 3 that would feed a central concentrator, that's the concept we're trying to put together.
Oh, perfect. So like one processing plant, but for 3 deposits together. It's cost effective.
Yeah, we're aiming for a minimum threshold that what would it take to go to a PEA. So the objective is 10 million tons at 10% combined lead zinc. If we pull from 2 or 3 deposits into a central concentrator would look something like 1,200 to 1,500 tons a day, because there's no concentrator available. Brunswick is now gone. So that's we're going back into a camp that was well known for Brunswick, elephant country. Yeah. It was a 10,500 ton per day mill. 3.5 million tons a year. So a lot of these deposits fell under the radar because they're only a million, 1.3 million. You know, it's only a few months for what Brunswick was producing. So they kind of were left on the shelf. We're going back in. They were explored around the deposits. There's spacing of 200, 400 in places. So these deposits are open. We want to go in and define those peripheries. If we see that we can get 3 or 4 deposits, that'll total 10 at 10, we'll go to PEA. Yeah. So that's our first step in the Bathurst camp, and lots of brownfield and grassroots exploration going on as well.
So that means you have a clear path to production, it sounds like to me, because you have a real camp there. Do you have old facilities also? I mean, the infrastructure must be perfect, right?
Everything you need for infrastructure is there. The communities are welcoming. They're looking for economic development. We've met with the First Nations. They're doing very well on their own, in their own right. They're very business oriented. And everyone wants this to work, so we're all going to work hard and pushing this forward and getting some good news flow coming for our shareholders, creating value. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, 50,000 meters to drill, there must be a lot of news. That's for sure.
And that's a start. We're going to go. We're going to increase from there.
So how many drill rigs do you have so far? Do you own them, or is it contracted?
It's contract drilling. We have 3 rigs turning. In the new year, we'll probably double that, and we'll look at the amount of rigs we have again in the spring, because the 50,000 meters is really to start defining the deposits and converting to the 43-101 resources. But in the spring, once the snow goes, we're going to start a regional program. There's a lot of interesting targets in the camp that are untested. Bathurst is well known for initial geophysical surveys. Back in the 50s, the first ever airborne magnetic survey after the Second World War led to outlining 35 deposits. Since 2004, there was the first ever gravity survey flown. It was fixed wing, and then there was another survey flown using helicopter surveys. Helicopter surveys they fly slower and lower, so much better resolution, and the processing capability today really highlights new targets. So we'll be looking at this world-class camp. Yeah, we have the data. So we'll be looking at this world-class camp with new lenses, and we're quite excited about it.
I believe that. So you were talking so far about zinc and lead. Any other, let's say, metal opportunities you see?
Absolutely. The fundamentals for zinc right now are
fantastic.
Excellent. Yeah, you couldn't be better. So that's why we have an emphasis on zinc. So we've been getting the Bathurst camp going, but we've also been looking throughout the base metal space. We're looking for assets that may be stranded, that may need access to capital or technical support. We have a great team through the Osisko group for technical support to advance projects.
Yeah.
So first we're looking for zinc, but we also have our eye on copper and nickel, trying to seize opportunities in the base metal space.
Like the e-mobility battery metals of the future.
Exactly. That's
because they are in high demand. They will stay in high demand,
absolutely.
definitely. Maybe let's talk shortly about the company itself. I mean, you said already you raised over 40 million, 38 million I think is around in the bank. You want to spend 10 million, so there's enough money for other, let's say, activities and G&A, of course. Who are your shareholders, your largest shareholders? And what is skin in the game, of course, from the management? Yeah,
so we have about 74% of our shareholder base in long-term hands, 40% in very large institutional hands. The Osisko Group, Gold Royalties and Osisko Mining own 20%, and managers have 12.
Wow, that's a lot. 12% is great. Can you comment on some institutions you have?
When we started financing this summer, we were very lucky. A bought deal came in, and JP Morgan, M&G, and these large shareholders have come in. They own about 10% apiece.
Fantastic. Wow, that's great. As you said, you are drilling the 50,000. That's let's say the first step. What would be the next step then for next year?
Well, right now, for the last 6 months, we've been scouring the base metal space, looking for projects that are stranded. So that's really the next step.
Okay.
And what we're saying is that the Bathurst mining camp is a benchmark. So we have resources there. We want to convert them to 43-101 and work towards a PEA. That's what we're looking for. Another camp scale acquisition that would have resources in the ground that we can advance rapidly towards cash flow.
Okay, exactly, rapidly to cash flow. That would be my next question. What would be, let's say, a hypothetical timeline to go in production? I know it's way too early, you need to do PEA, feasibility, etc. But just from your, let's say, experience, you have so long in the business, what do you think? Like 3 years from here, 5 years from here?
Well, right now we're going to aggressively pursue the resources we have in the Bathurst camp, and if we get something similar on the go, it's going to take a year or two to get the full resource base, and then 1 or 2 years to advance it through the permitting and towards study feasibility. And you know, you're looking at a 3 to 5 year timeline, I think is reasonable.
Yeah. No, but it's a perfect timeline, I would say, because then the e-mobility kicks fully in. And I just read an article this morning that we are so short of the commodities they need. It is crazy what's going on there.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good time to be doing this. People are looking for optionality outside of the gold space. And the fundamentals right now for base metals couldn't be better.
Absolutely.
And just to return our 3 large institutional shareholders, there's actually 4. There's BlackRock, the one I...
Oh, wow, okay.
JP Morgan, M&G, and the Caisse de dépôt et placement du Québec has been involved in the company since the beginning.
Wow, fantastic.
Sprott also has a position in the company. So these are very large institutions, and we really appreciate their support. And I think they see us as a growth story, just as our objective in the company is.
I think it's a perfect sign of confidence and trust.
Yes. And the Osisko backing has helped enormously.
Technically, it's fantastic. It's the best you can have.
It's the best Canadian mining house out there to support juniors, as Sean Rusin puts it, the accelerator model to grow companies and create wealth and value for shareholders.
Definitely. Well, Jeff, thank you very much. That's
thank you for
fantastic.
Having me. Very much.
And we keep fingers crossed, of course, and I'm pretty sure that will work well out. And I think we do an update at PDAC latest.
Yes, we'll see you there.
Great, thank you very much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jeff Hussey, the president and CEO of Osisko Metals, and you heard a brand new company. They started in summer, but well funded, still 38 million in the bank. They are planning 50,000 meters to drill, which will cost approximately 10 million. And they are on the right metals, zinc, lead. They are looking for copper also, and for good opportunities, and assembling a large land position up there in New Brunswick. So check out the company. Thanks for watching us. Bye-bye from London.